All right, let's jump right in. You hear all this chatter about an AI bubble, but what we're seeing on the ground with the big clients, it's the complete opposite. So what we're going to do is break down a real playbook for AI agencies, looking ahead to 2026. And this isn't just theory, okay? This is based on where the real money is actually going right now. And this quote from Liam Otley just hits the nail on the head. Forget all that bubble talk. The opportunity isn't shrinking, it's just changing shape. It's actually getting way, way bigger, but only if you know where to look. It's like that old saying, right? You gotta skate to where the puck is going, not where it's been. The game is changing, and the ones who adapt first, they're the ones who are gonna win. So that really is the million-dollar question, isn't it? If the old ways of doing things are on their way out, what does a successful, profitable AI agency actually look like now? Well, stick around because that's exactly what this playbook is all about. Okay, first things first, we absolutely have to get our heads around the biggest shift in the entire market. And it's this: the customer is completely different. Seriously, we're past that initial hype phase where everyone was just excited. And that changes everything. How you sell, what you build, how you actually deliver value. It's a whole new ballgame. Yeah, check out this number. A recent MIT study found that a staggering 95% of custom enterprise AI projects are failing. Think about that for a second. 95%. So when your potential clients see a stat like that, of course they're going to get nervous. The days of just throwing money at an AI experiment to see what happens, oh yeah, those are long gone. And what this all means is that your new clients who are part of this, skeptical majority, they need to see the proof. They need a bulletproof business case. They're not buying the buzzword AI anymore. No way. They're buying results. They're asking, how exactly is this going to cut my support costs by 30%? Or show me how this gets me a 20% bump in lead conversion. It's got to be real. It's got to be tangible. Okay, so if clients are demanding cold, hard ROI, what do? How do you adapt to that? Well, it means you have to fundamentally change your entire agency model. You have to evolve from just being a service provider into, well, something much more valuable. And this comparison here, it just lays it out perfectly. In the past, you might have been an AI automation agency, basically a focused developer who just took orders. But the future? The future is being an AI transformation partner. This is totally different. You're a strategic, holistic guide. You're not just building a one-off chatbot, you're managing the client's entire journey into AI. So what does that actually mean to be a transformation partner? What's in the toolkit? Well, it means you're offering the whole shebang. You're doing education and training for their teams. You're providing that high-level strategic consulting. Of course, you're still doing the custom development. And this is key, you're sticking around for the long haul, forming a real partnership to make sure it all works. So how do you get your foot in the door in this new world? It's the AI audit. The audit has become the #1 most effective way to start a relationship. Just think about it. Back when the internet was new, what was the first thing every business needed? A website, right? The AI audit is basically the 2026 version of that. It's the first, most logical, most necessary step for any company that's serious about AI. And listen, these audits aren't just small gigs. They are incredibly valuable. The average deal size we're seeing is over $11,000. And that's just to get started. A really well-done audit builds so much trust and uncovers so many opportunities that it just naturally blossoms into these massive six-figure transformation projects down the road. But here's something that so many agencies completely miss, and it's huge. The technology is only half the battle. You could build the most incredible AI system the world has ever seen. But if the client's team doesn't get it, or they don't trust it, or they just don't use it, it's worthless. It creates zero value. The people problem is the single biggest hurdle to real transformation. And you can actually see this evolution playing out in real time. 2024, that was all about building automations and development. 2025, right now, it's really been the year of consulting and audits. But 2026, it's going to be all about education and adoption. The agencies that figure out how to solve this people problem and make sure their solutions actually get used, they're the ones who are going to own the future, period. All right, now let's talk about something that might actually surprise you. What AI agencies will be spending most of their time building in 2026? It is probably not what you think. It's time to kind of rethink what AI development really even means. So let's just ask the question straight up. With all this talk about super advanced models and complex AI systems, what will your development team's day-to-day work actually look like? And here's the answer. Get this. A full 80% of the work is going to be general software development. We're talking about building internal dashboards, setting up ticketing systems, fixing their ancient tech stack, stuff like that. Only about 20% will be what you'd call pure AI development. I know it sounds kind of backwards, but there's a really solid reason for it. See, AI is the activation energy. It's the exciting thing that gets you the meeting, that gets you in the door. But once you're in there, once you start that audit, you almost always find that the client isn't really ready for some super advanced AI. Why? Because their basic processes and their existing software are a total mess. So you have to build that solid foundation first, before you can even think about putting the fancy AI stuff on top. Okay, so what about that 20% that is pure AI work? Well, things are changing there too, and fast. There's this concept called vibe automation, which is basically using natural language, just talking to the machine, to generate code. You can literally say, build me a customer service workflow that routes tickets based on urgency, and it'll spit out the code. Because of this, that first version of an AI tool can be built faster than ever. The initial build is becoming a commodity. So if building that first draft is getting super easy, where's the value? Where do you make your money? It's got to shift somewhere else, right? And it does. It shifts to the really hard, gnarly work. The rigorous testing, the endless iteration, and the painful optimization. Taking an AI voice agent from a cool little prototype to a bulletproof, production-ready system that delivers actual ROI, that is where the real, high-value expert work is now. Okay, last section. Let's talk about the end game, the long game. How do you go from being just another service business to building a true strategic asset? This is about positioning your agency not just for next year, but for massive long-term success. So there's this critical new role emerging, and it's called the Forward Deployed Engineer, or FDE. Now, this person isn't just a coder, and they're not just a consultant. They're a hybrid of both. This is someone who can walk onto a client's site, diagnose a complex business problem, and then right there, in the meeting, use AI tools to build a working prototype. This skill set is an absolute game changer for landing those huge projects. And listen to this prediction. This FDE role will be the highest paying job of all time. Now, that is a seriously bold claim, but it just highlights the insane value of this blended skill set, that ability to bridge the gap between business strategy and hands-on technical execution. In real time, it's going to be an absolutely ridiculous demand. But here it is. Here's the ultimate strategic move. Every single client project you take on, think of it as a paid R&D session. You're literally getting paid to go deep and solve a really hard problem. The smartest agencies will figure out how to retain the intellectual property from these solutions, and then they'll be on the lookout for that one gem that can be productized and spun out into its own scalable software company. And if we look even further down the road, really stretch our imagination. Picture a future where a platform can build an entire company's tech stack from just a simple prompt. In a world like that, your role isn't the manual builder anymore. You become the high-value integrator, the master strategist who orchestrates these incredibly powerful platforms to solve complex business goals. So we'll end on this thought. Right now, your agency is out there building custom solutions every single day. You're already solving valuable problems. The real question you need to be asking yourself is this: which one of these solutions isn't just another project? Which one is the seed of your real endgame? The one that could become a valuable asset that you own and you can scale? That, right there, is the billion-dollar question for 2026.